time to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Dudley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you once again from Clint's Comics in Monroe, Louisiana, and continuing my theme for the entire summer, a salute to higher education in Louisiana. I made this Tulane University themed Comic Hero tee, and if you look close enough, you can see the green water inside the speech balloon with and the blue letters. Then to go along with it, this Tulane hat that I wear. Now, if you're watching this and you attend or attended and or graduated from Tulane University in New Orleans, all I have to say is go Wave. I learned that this isn't really talking about comics, but I'm talking about this reference to Tulane University. I found out that there's a lot of famous people who graduated from Tulane. For example, Paul Michael Glasser, who played Starsky on Starsky and Hutch, graduated from there. Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, actor and model Lauren Hutton, and President Jimmy Carter's daughter Amy also graduated from Tulane. And y'all are gonna crack up when I tell you who also graduated from Tulane University. Jerry Springer. Anyway, enough about that. I don't have any questions for the Any Questions segment this week. And also, but every other segment on the show will go on. And so, continuing my Comicology 101 series on Ant-Man, here comes Lesson 3, the second Ant-Man, and the one that's also going to be the feature character in the upcoming Ant-Man movie that's coming out from Marvel next week, Scott Lang. Class is now in session. Welcome back to Comicology 101. Continuing the Ant-Man series, I'll be discussing the second Ant-Man, Scott Lang. Scott Lang was a thief who first became Ant-Man after stealing Henry Pym's Ant-Man suit to save his daughter Cassie from a heart condition. Reforming from his life of crime, he soon took on a full-time career as Ant-Man with the encouragement of Hank Pym. He became an affiliate of the Fantastic Four, and most recently became a full-time member of the Avengers. For a period of time, he dated Jessica Jones. He was later killed by the Scarlet Witch, along with the Vision and Hawkeye in Avengers Disassembled, and his daughter Cassie took up the heroic mantle as Stature in the book Young Avengers. He returned to life in 2011 in the miniseries The Avengers, The Children's Crusade, but lost his daughter when she heroically sacrificed herself to stop a supercharged Doctor Doom, who would later revive her during the X-Men and Avengers Axis event. That's all for today. Next week, I'll be discussing the third Ant-Man, Eric O'Grady. Class dismissed. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the third lesson on Scott Lang. Now, next week will be the conclusion of the Ant-Man Comicology 101 series. And I'll be talking about the last person to be, the third person to take on the role of Ant-Man, Eric O'Grady. Okay, now one of Clint's most loyal customers, and also a fan of the show, Jay Morgan, had suggested that Lobo and Deadpool do battle in a segment I like to call DC versus Marvel. Hulk smash! Welcome to DC versus Marvel. Today it's Lobo versus Deadpool. To make this fight interesting, let's use the Lobo from the original DC universe. Lobo possesses superhuman senses, superhuman strength, superhuman durability, a healing factor, immortality, and genius-level intellect. Deadpool possesses a regenerative healing factor and is a martial artist, swordsman, and marksman. He also possesses longevity. Who would win? This would be a battle of two immortals. The fight would start off with hand-to-hand combat and would later elevate to firearm usage. Deadpool revealed that he purposely left out a weapon, his katana, thus slicing Lobo's head off. Deadpool wins. But wait! Lobo reattaches his head to the rest of his body and delivers a Superman punch to Deadpool. Then he hurls him far into space, causing his entire body to instantly explode. Lobo wins. But wait! Over time, pieces of Deadpool's body begin to reattach. The head is the last part to reattach, and before making his return to Earth, he raises his index finger and says, "Shh." This fight ends in a draw. That concludes this DC versus Marvel fight. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the Lobo versus Deadpool DC versus Marvel fight. And if you have any DC versus Marvel requests or any questions for the Any Questions segment or any other suggestions for this show, contact info down there. Alright, up next is Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Okay, last week when I came over here, I picked up a free, all new, all different Marvel preview book, and it was a preview book, but at the same time, all it featured were the front covers to the first issue of all the new books coming out from Marvel after Secret Wars ends, and there were a few things that I like, and there were also some things that really didn't sit well with me. One in particular, no Fantastic Four. That didn't really sit well with me at all. Now, the Fantastic Four is Marvel royalty. Well, not just Marvel royalty, but comic book royalty. They've been regarded as the first family of superheroes. It was them. It was they and Captain America who pretty much kicked off, and pretty much we're at the beginning of the regular Marvel universe, and it breaks my heart that it's not only is there not going to be a Fantastic Four book, but there's not going to be a Fantastic Four team either. Now I really don't know what's going to happen to three of the members, and I'm talking about Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, and the Human Torch, but the Thing will be a member of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now,
I, there's just something about that I really don't approve of. I mean, the Thing has always been one of my favorite characters in comics, period. In terms of his demeanor and the way he carries himself. But Guardians of the Galaxy, are you kidding? And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, guess who also won't be on the team? Star-Lord. All that's going to be on the team that I know of are the Thing, Drax, Rocket, Groot, Venom, and this other character that I saw that looks like who is basically a female version of Star-Lord. Now, now if it's Kitty Pryde, I really don't know. Could be. And then there's something else about the this all new, all different Marvel I really don't like, and that's the fact that not the Thing, but the Beast is going to be a member of the Inhumans. Now, the Inhumans have been one of those characters that I didn't even really hear. I've never really heard of until I was in 8th grade. I didn't know who the Inhumans were until I watched an episode of the old Fantastic Four cartoon that ran from 1994 through 1996. I just don't see it. What else? Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's some other things. Oh, one more thing. I just found this out last week, and all you Facebook friends know exactly what I'm going to talk about. We found out that Spider-Woman, or the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, will be in the all-new, all-different Marvel. However, she will be with child. Now, as to who the father is going to be, I really don't know.
It's immaculate.
Okay. Or it could be Ben Urich. And I say that because in the previous volume of the Spider-Woman, when she decided to move back to New York, she Ben Urich started following her around. Now, as to whether he got nookie from her, I really don't know. But anyway, one thing I can tell you, well, a few things I can tell you that I really like about this all new, all different Marvel. There are not going to be one. There are going to be one, but two Spider-Men. They're Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Now, Peter Parker, to me, killing him off, or him not being Spider-Man, I'm sorry, I just can't see Peter Parker not being Spider-Man. And then Miles Morales, who is the Ultimate Spider-Man, who is Spider-Man from the Ultimate line of books. Well, I mean, I'm going to let y'all in on something. A few years ago, or over the years, after the Ultimate Peter Parker's death at the hands of the Green Goblin, I just said, I'm done. I'm not reading anything Ultimate Marvel ever again. But then Miles Morales came on the scene, and then I thought, okay, this guy's all right. And Peter Parker will also serve as a mentor to Miles. And they're going to have their own separate books. Peter Parker's book is going to be called The Amazing Spider-Man. And then Miles Morales' book is just going to be called Spider-Man. And then one other thing I found out is Captain Marvel will once again have her own book. But that's not the only thing I'm excited about. I'm really excited about the new writers that are going to be on the book, and that's Lisa Marie Peterson and Dawn DeNew. Now, if you don't know who these two ladies are, they served as producers and series writers to Law and Order SVU, and wrote some great episodes. Now I have no problem with TV series writers writing comics at all. I mean, heck, you should see what J. Michael Straczynski did with Thor. What he did with Thor was amazing, and then and there's some other folks I could go on and on, but these two ladies writing Captain Marvel. If you're gonna ask, now somebody would ask me, am I gonna read that? I'm not just gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say heck yeah. There's some other things like, well, the fact that Wolverine is back, although he's an old man, or as a lot of folks like to call him, Old Man Logan. And of course he'll be a member of the X-Men, and there's going to be like a whole slew of X-Men books. A lot of them I'm very excited about reading. Okay, now the last thing that I'm going to talk about in the Comically Speaking segment is a few minutes ago, I just found out in the new Spider-Man movies that are going to be releasing in the next few years by Marvel Studios. That's right, folks. Marvel has required, in terms of the movie rights, they have acquired the rights to Spider-Man from Sony and Columbia, and Spider-Man is going to make his Marvel Studios movie debut in Captain America: Civil War, and will also get his own movie soon after that. But then I found out but a few minutes ago I just found out who's been casted to play Aunt May. And that person happens to be, the actress happens to be Marissa Tomei. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, wait a minute. The age of Aunt May is going downhill. Because, with Sam Raimi, in the 3 movies that Sam Raimi directed, Rosemary Harris played the role of Aunt May, and then in the 2 Mark Webb directed movies, Sally Field played Aunt May. Now, they really kind of reduced the age of Aunt May. I guess Marvel Studios really didn't want to make her an old lady, like Columbia did with the Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man movies. But my understanding is that this Spider-Man is going to be a teenager. But that also begs the question: I wonder who they're going to cast to play Uncle Ben. The way I see it, if they casted Marissa Tomei and she's going to be yet a younger Aunt May, the chances are they're probably going to go for a younger actor to play that role. Okay, that's it for Comically Speaking. So then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Princess Leia number 5. This is the conclusion to the Princess Leia miniseries, and I've been reading it, and she R2-D2 and a rebel fighter pilot by the name of Evan have gone throughout the galaxy looking for survivors from the planet of Alderaan, and have come up on a whole bunch of other unfortunate misadventures as well. But this is the conclusion. And starting today, even though I'm not going to read it, but for anyone who might be interested, Lando Calrissian is getting his own miniseries. So if you're anyone like my good friend Josh Nichols, just go and pick you up one. All right, up next is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #2. Now, I read the last issue, and in this one, Spider-Man, or should I say Peter Parker, is married to Mary J. Watson. They have a daughter named Annie. And along the way, a lot of the Avengers all the heroes in New York have all went missing and then later found slain. And Spider-Man it's up to him and several other Marvel characters to find out exactly just what happened. Next up is Batgirl #41. This is the first issue of Batgirl since Convergence, and it still has the same team of Cameron Stewart, Brendan Fletcher, and Babs Tarr on the book. And a lot of folks don't like this book, but I think for the most part it's pretty good. But different strokes for different folks. Up next is Justice League of America #2. Now I've yet to read the first issue, but this is a Justice League of America book that's written and drawn by co-written and drawn by Brian Hitch, and he's no stranger to the Justice League of America. He's actually penciled the JLA book back in the early 2000s. Oh, and not to mention, he's also been on books like The Authority and The Ultimates. Up next is Red Hood and Arsenal #2. Now, I've yet to read number 1, but what I can tell you, Red Hood is just these two guys. It used to be them and Starfire, but Starfire decided to set course on her own path, and now it's just Red Hood and Arsenal. And in this one, I think they're going up against Killer Moms. Yeah, I found out when I read the previews. I was thinking, Killer Moms. I'm sure somewhere in heaven or somewhere in heaven, Charlie Chaplin is thinking, what? Up next is Batman Superman #22. This is the concluding story arc called Truth, in which not only does Superman have to deal with not having powers, but he also has to deal with the fact that everyone knows he's Clark Kent. And so far, not looking good. Oh, by the way, folks, this is... Uh-oh. Bear with me. It's fun, I just love doing episodes here because I get to do stuff like that and not feel bad about it. But anyway, what DC is doing all this month, they have all these variant covers and they've been doing this for like ever since last year, where they have like variant covers. Well, this is a Teen Titans Go variant cover, of course, based on Cartoon Network. Now, I don't even remember Holly. Bear with me, folks. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, and lastly, Batman #42. This is the second issue of Batman since Convergence ended, and there's a new Batman, and his name is former Commissioner James Gordon. And of course, this is another Teen Titans Go variant cover, and he's not really sitting well with a lot of folks in Gotham City, especially folks in the Bat family. Okay, at 7 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 6,878. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and this is the second episode, unfortunately, that I'm having to do without my camcorder. For those of you who don't know, last Friday when I came up here, I was setting up and I turned around and my camcorder was nowhere to be found. So I've been having to go back to doing all my episodes on my phone. And I'm not all that upset about it, because one thing I learned early on in life is that sometimes you have to make lemonade out of lemons. mean, the show must go on. I mean, you can't just slash your wrist just because something like that happens. My mom always told me, you know, to every problem there's always a solution, and to concentrate on the solution. And so, then the solution I found, just go back to doing episodes with my phone until I have a new camcorder, or until the camcorder that got stolen, it gets returned to me. All right. As I've said in every episode, I'm doing a summer-long salute to higher education in Louisiana, and this week I'm doing Tulane University. Next week I'm going to be covering my old stomping grounds, Bossier Parish Community College. That's episode 72. Episode 73 will be Southeastern Louisiana University in Hammond, Louisiana. And then in episode 74, and I actually got criticism from one person about that so far. And, I'm doing Louisiana Lafayette. Now you're probably thinking, Vic, why would you do that if you are a student at ULM? Well, to paraphrase Morpheus, what if I told you that you could be loyal to the college you attend and still show respect for other colleges? You see, I don't want to be one of those students that's so loyal to my university to the point where I think that everyone can go suck it. Not my way. That's why I'm doing. Well, that's not why I'm doing this, but that's my way. With me doing the higher education. Well, the salute to higher education in Louisiana. That's my way of showing that even though I attended one college, I still have respect for other colleges. And who knows? I may even expand my fan base. I may have folks that attend certain colleges or have graduated from these colleges, become fans of the show. You just never know. Now, T-shirts. I did say this I did say it in the last episode, but T-shirts for adults, $12, and for children, $7. Now, let's say, for example, you want to buy the T-shirt and you give it to me to iron on. I will gladly do that. For adults, it's $10 and that blank tee, and for children, it's $5 and that blank tee. And so far, I just made one for one of my coworkers at my job. Her name is Dawn Till. And so, Dawn, I know you're watching this. You watch every week. You're a diehard fan. But with that aside, aside that my camcorder got stolen, rather, I still love doing episodes here. I still love doing episodes, period, because I get to show my love for comics with each and every one of you. And a lot of folks say, I remember somebody that I was in band with at ULM. I tried to encourage them to watch my web series. Well, this person said, sorry, I'm not into comic books. You don't have to be into comic books to watch this show, folks. I mean, my mom, who doesn't really know a lot about comics, she watches this show. And then a lot of my better fans, my bigger fans of the show, rather, don't know anything about comics. So there. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week right back here in Clint's Comics for episode 72, where I'll be covering Bossier Parish Community College for my salute to higher education, Louisiana. I'll see you next week. Till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and go Green Wave. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. This is the second episode I've had to do with my phone since my camcorder got missing. And I don't feel all that bad about it anymore. But one thing I learned growing up is that sometimes you have to make lemonade out of lemons. You can't just give up just because something like this happened. So, and this is my way of going about that. And but anyway, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. However, but anyway, what I'm going to talk about is is a salute to higher education in Louisiana that I'm doing all summer. Of course, I have on Tulane next week. I'm doing my old stomping grounds, Bossier Parish Community College in Bossier City, Louisiana, and I need to bring this down because this is way too high and I'm way too short, and that's going on the